My goodness, what a thought. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it explains everything that we're going through. I mean, one of the first statements, people will think you're crazy. Isn't that the truth?
That is exactly what, my reaction when I was first told about some things. And it was a good friend of mine, Dana. And I thought, I don't know, Dana. You know, you're kind of off there in left field, aren't you? Well, I mean, that's exactly what I thought. That was my first impression, and quite frankly, it was very good that he didn't dump on me, that he spoon-fed me a little bit at first. But look where I've come in a couple of years. But if that isn't a description of exactly what we're dealing with today, now those people that are very new, if there's some of you on the call here that this is the first time you've ever listened and you're not really aware of much that's going on, we're talking about all the soft metals, stuff like that. Soft metals is referring to things like the aluminum and various things that are used in the chemtrail.
Lead, mercury.
And the lead and the mercury on things that were put into, the mercury in the fillings in our teeth. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. This really is a heck of an eye-opener. And, those of us that have been around for a while and are aware of more things, we understand that. But there's 300 million people out here that don't understand that. So that touches on just about everything we're dealing with, doesn't it?
Everything.
The
everything.
Death, poisoning, the control, everything.
But they were too smart by half because now their plan is imploding.
Mm-hmm.
People are waking up. They didn't count on the internet, and they didn't count on China coming in and shutting down the Fed.
Well, there's a lot of things that are contributing to it, but the most important thing that we have to bring to the table is ourselves.
Now that too.
We've got to step up. We can't ask somebody else to solve our problems. We have to step up to the plate and do it ourselves, and which means that we've got to become active. We have got to force the issues and start rolling back these things that have been happening to us. And as I said earlier, I think it's real important that we don't try and go out and take a great big bite out of a big apple and choke on it. If we take this down to the county level, which is where the people are, and you work from that county level up and create all sorts of little bugs, thousands of bugs that are chewing away at that apple, eventually they're going to eat it. And I firmly believe that's what we've got to do. And every one of us has got a responsibility to help make that happen. It takes talking to people. The best advertising is one-on-one, word of mouth. Word of mouth is cheap advertising, and it is absolutely the best. It's friends talking to friends, and actually strangers talking to each other. And I know not everybody is out there and feels as comfortable about flapping their gums as I do, but it doesn't mean you can't do it. Just be friendly to people. Engage them. But thanks for reading that, Tad. I had read that, and like I said, I'd really thought about having somebody put the information in for the uninformed. This is part of our educational process, is people realizing what has happened around them that they never knew before. 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I had no clue what was going on. And we have to always remember that even as much as some of us may know, and I don't know that much, I've got an awful lot to learn. But there's people that are behind me in the learning curve. And God knows there's plenty of people ahead of me in the learning curve. But at least I'm willing to step out and do something. And I'm going to keep doing it, and I hope everybody else will, because we need everybody. This is not going to work if people are thinking in terms of a few 100,000 people. It's not going to succeed if people think about, wow, if we could get 1 million people involved, look at the impact we'd have. I'm sorry, but 1 million people out of 300+ million is not anywhere near enough.